Welcome back to another episode of Reality Court. My name is Ace Fanning, host of the Sister Wives podcast, Love Should Be Multiplied, Not Divided, and I am joined by my very beautiful but good God, she cannot work with technology at all. It is so awful. Guys, Anna Quincoces, former Real Housewife of Miami, and you know what? She's my favorite abuelita.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You know what, Ace? I'm just a girl standing in front of a boy asking him to podcast with me. So
That's
all
right.
the extra bullshit that you say, we can, just be nice, all right?
Okay, I'll do my best. Now,
Yeah.
Now, speaking of being nice, we are joined by a very beautiful former Real Housewife of Miami. But
That's right.
honestly, I will say one of the sexiest dentists I have ever seen in my life. Like, I would be so much more willing to go to the dentist if this was what was hanging above my mouth.
Oh, that's so sweet. Well, you can come visit me and open your mouth wide whenever you want.
Karen, how are you? It has been a while since we've seen you on our TV screens.
I know. I'm doing fabulous. Had a nice, enjoyable weekend on the boat. So when I'm on the boat, I'm happy and I'm doing great. How about you?
Oh, I have to deal with this woman who's just, it's a lot.
You know
Karen,
what? She's all bark and no bite.
Oh, don't tell her that. She'll be mad about it.
No, but it's a
I'm
good
not.
thing. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
You know
I'm
what
not
saying?
mad about it.
She portrays to be someone, and it's not, I'm not saying this in a bad way, but like on the show, I was like, oh my gosh, she's such a bitch. And she really is not. I mean, I think she was influenced by other people.
You think?
You think? She was drinking the apple juice, which
Yeah.
always says.
The mojito.
But in the real nitty gritty, and then as time evolves and time does tell everything and shows the true colors of everyone, you realize she's this educated woman. She was just being, influenced by other people. She's a great person. She's sarcastic. She's funny. She's witty, and she has a life of her own that does not or is not defined by another man or by a relationship. And that's what I love about her, and that's why we became friends after the show.
Right.
More so than during the show, because during the show it's you're kind of like in this whirlwind. You don't know what you're living, and then you're being thrown these informations, and these women are just being vicious, and they think that by being more vicious they're going to become more famous because they need that, because they have nothing else in their life to have.
This
so
is why we're friends.
Exactly.
We're on the same page.
They're
I think
usually
it's
either with men that don't listen to them, or men that are gay and that they don't pay attention to them. So they need some type of substance to feel validated in this world. And thank God, Anna has substance. She's an educated attorney, whether she practices or not. That's needless to say. Hopefully I don't have to practice in the future, but I'm still a dentist. That education, no one's going to take away from you. And that logic and that common sense. Unfortunately, not everybody has that. Common sense.
Do you remember? I mean, I know you remember, but and thank you so much. I never, Ace goes, is ready to go on and on about you, and there's a lot to say because Karent is not only a dentist, she's so much more than that. She is super philanthropic and for real, you know what I mean? And then one of the things that tells me the most about her is that she's an amazing daughter. She goes on a trip and she takes her mom all the time, and she's the real deal. So, but I remember when Karen and I were put at odds because of some guy, that the storyline was that I had something to do with the guy, and I kept saying I have nothing with the guy. I was with somebody else that I really liked and wanted to get engaged. Right. And they created this narrative and pinned us against each other. And it was really sad because, ultimately Karen was in love with him,
I was.
She was. And it's very sad that other people would relish in what was happening. And towards the end, we know what happened in the Bahamas, you know?
The interesting thing about it is that the other women, and mainly Alexia, because, gosh, we all know, that she's devil in disguise there, or maybe not so much in disguise, but it's that I was dating this guy Rodolfo, who used to be in TV in the Spanish market for 2 years prior to that. I went to,
Yeah.
Guadalajara to meet his whole family 2 years prior to
You were
that.
with him for a while, yeah.
For a while, and so then they're saying, oh, I'm inventing this relationship. Why would I have invented 2 years prior, like spending time? I mean, it just didn't make sense. They needed some type of storyline to make, to choose me. Sure enough, as most men, as long as they have a penis, and I hate to say this, the reality is, if they have a penis, they're going to cheat. It's very rare that they don't. I think it's just in their, it's their animal sense. And I'm not to say that everyone's going to cheat, but it's a good majority that they do. And it happened to me. It happens to everyone. I'm sure there's very few people or few women that can raise their hand and say, I've never been cheated on, And it's
Ace,
just
raise your hand.
yeah, please. I would love to see this.
No,
Really?
he's a woman that's never been cheated on.
Okay.
I am a woman who has never been cheated on. That's for sure. I think
That's awesome.
the fun thing about the two of you, though, going on Miami is that, Miami really does think, I think if we line up all the franchises, it has one of the lowest IQs out there. And then we put you two on it, who are insanely smart women who are accomplished, who are educated. And then they put you in with these idiots, and it's like, well, I mean, what do you expect's going to happen? I mean, Alexia can't form a sentence to save her life.
That's right.
I mean, we will tell you that the exception to that on our season was Leah and Joanna. Because Joanna is hard to control, but she's smart. And Leah
But she's smart.
Yeah.
And to their defense also, I adore them, and so does Anna. Joanna has been a close friend of mine ever since we met on the show, because we did meet on the show. I did not know her from before. But she has a heart. She has a foundation. She gives back. It's not just about, self-fulfillment and self-prophecy of me, 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 me. She does things for her, for the community. She has a beautiful foundation, Animals for Rescue. So does Leah. So although Leah, has a great husband and everything and has been, living a wonderful life, but she also does give back. And I think that says a lot about a person.
Yeah.
Now, Karent, when you came onto the scene in Miami, you were brought on by Adriana, correct?
Supposedly.
Okay, so that was more of a setup by production. They were like,
that
yeah,
was
you guys are going to be
100%
friends.
setup. I had never met her. They wanted to portray. Hey, this is real,
Just like Adriana took me to Nicole's Mamacita luncheon.
Right. It's like I had never met Adriana. They wanted to have the storyline that she was my friend and I was coming in because of her. No, I met her the day that we started filming.
Perfect.
So
I love that. Awesome.
That is reality TV.
Longtime friends. Now, Karent, you got they really tried to pin you as the shit stirrer in Miami.
Yeah.
You were the sniper from the side. You would come in and you would say something, but your hands were always clean because you're like, I didn't do any of it. So I want to know, was production pushing you to be the one who was always bringing stuff to people?
Oh, my producer was egging me on every single time. I can't remember her name. She was really sweet. They fired her.
Oh, I know. Lauren.
No, she was African American.
So. I don't know.
I can't remember her name.
I don't remember Karen doing that. I mean,
And
my memory's bad.
I
and
will
I'm
tell you, the
ancient.
one time that I do remember saying something, and coincidentally, we were at Lisa Hochstein's house, and we were
Yes.
having that party. And I do remember saying this, but coincidentally, they filmed a scene in which it's Lisa, Joanna, and myself in her bathroom, supposedly getting ready before the party, officially started. And I remember that we actually had a conversation and we filmed it. It obviously didn't air because it wouldn't go with the sequence. It
Right.
wasn't good for TV by filming that little section. And we're saying, my gosh, if you hear something, I would want to know. Be my friend and tell me to my face. Don't let me hear about through somebody else.
Right.
And about being there for each other. And then that's when this guy that went to jail, that Girls Gone
Joe
Wild.
Francis.
Joe Francis. And the coincidence, she had just finished saying, "Oh my God, that guy's such a perv. Like, I would never touch him. I would never date him. I would never do anything with him." She
Right.
physically told me into my face that night. Then all of a sudden, I overhear him saying that, and I go, "Shoot, I may be the shit stirrer. If that's what you're calling a shit stirrer, then I'm proud to be a shit stirrer because I'm going to defend my friends."
Right.
I'm going to hear this man talking shit, saying that he had slept with her so many times, and I'm hearing it, and of course I approach
And
him
with
like,
Marta. And with Marta.
Yeah, both
on with
sisters.
Marta, right? With the both sisters, he was like, doubled him. So I was like, "What?" And I went up to him and I go, "So you're saying this? You did this?" And so if that appears that it was a shit stirrer, then honey, I'm proud to be a shit stirrer because I'm going to defend my friends, and especially in front of this asshole that's talking shit about both of them. So
But
if
it's
that's
like
the
the
definition of
way,
a shit stirrer, absolutely,
yeah,
I am a shit stirrer. I'm
the
happy to
way
be.
they tried to do that was like, oh, well, it was just like Joe said it to you, and all of a sudden you're just running over to Joanna being like, guess what
Yeah.
just he said about you? And
What
it's
what
like,
what am I gonna
Well,
wait for 3 months for my friend to find out from somebody else? Absolutely, I'm gonna nip
and
it in
not
the
only
bud.
that, that's a reputation ruining comment, you
Absolutely.
know?
Especially in one of these parties, everyone's drinking, so, it's going to spread like wildfire. You need to nip it in the bud right then and there. That's what I would want any of my friends to do. If I'm at a
yep.
place and I'm with Anna and Anna hears some shit from somebody else, God, I would appreciate she comes straight to me and nips that in the bud.
I would like to put it out there to the world, though, that if anyone hears anything bad about me, don't tell me. Just like let me pretend that
He can't
it's not
handle it.
being said. I
Are
can't be.
you
I can't handle it.
serious? You want to live in oblivion?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, he does.
Oh,
He
oh
does.
no, 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 no,
No, no.
no. Yeah.
He
So,
like yeah, go ahead. He freaks out. What am I doing? I have something here.
oh,
He
she's
freaks
trying to
out
show us her
about
tits.
shut up. Our negative comments on YouTube, like he'll go into, he'll spiral. But then most of the comments are good. Like this week I was reading them. They're all like, Ace is the greatest interview. Ace this. I go, why don't you read them now? You know?
Okay,
It's
let's
like,
calm it down. We're here to talk about Karent now. At that same party though, that is where Adriana tries to beat the shit out of Joanna, which is
Yes.
television gold. I mean, honestly, like we're all grateful for the scene. But again, like Adriana's just like, oh, of course it has Karent's hands all over it. She's the devil. She's this. She's that.
And
And
if you
I,
remember that scene, Ace, I'm going to interrupt you for a second. If you
yeah,
remember
no,
that scene,
do
it's
it.
interesting because Leslie, who was the reporter for Miami Herald at the time, Leslie, right? Was that her name?
Leslie
Yes.
Bravanel, yeah.
Bravanel, correct. She she sees me at a place. We're at an event of, I think it was the Ritz Carlton, I don't know, some event, and that's when I said, "Oh my God, these women, they're just vicious, and I'm just gonna kill them with kindness." She was never a fan of the show. She thought they were just
No,
all
she hates the
airheaded
show.
women on the first season. She hates the show. So when she meets me, she writes an article. But if anybody knows about literary, and reporting, it's anything that's in quotes, I say. Whatever's not in
Yeah.
quotes, that's whatever she decides to write. So she said
Right.
they had Botox for brains. I don't know,
Yes,
another comment.
Botox for brains. And
Remember?
that is such a I know Leslie personally. She's still my friend to
Right.
this day.
She was awesome.
She threatens me. She goes, "If you dare go back to that show." And then when I went back last season that they edited the way they did, she just texted me. She goes, "You're an asshole."
Because you know what?
And
I
I go,
loved
"I
it.
know." Yeah.
I loved her because when she didn't know what was airing, or what was being filmed. And when she saw the show, she retweeted. She's like, "Oh my God, what is wrong with you people? What's in quotes?" All she said was, "I'm going to kill them with kindness." But people don't know how to read. They're not educated. So
Right.
it goes back
Again.
to the whole thing. So they formed this whole scandal that, yes, good for ratings, but it's like I was at the brunt end of, that stick. But hey, it is what it is.
Well,
Take
and
one for the team.
I think what's so interesting is with the passage of time, Miami goes off the air for so long, and when it comes back, Adriana is doing every single thing that she has accused you of doing.
I
And
know.
I just think that's rich, for her to be in that position.
Yep,
She
absolutely.
that fight came out of the fact that Number one, Joanna is Polish, out of, just has like a very strong temper, vodka, Polish. It's a bad combination. And Adriana was so jealous of Joanna. I mean, most of them were. Alexia was very jealous of Joanna, too.
Of course. But let's be real. She's this human, real Barbie doll. The girl is
Yeah, exactly.
drop dead gorgeous that if I was a
Exactly.
lesbian, I would want to do her.
No. She was like, you would see her and it was like, get away from me. But I always liked her a lot.
She almost didn't seem real of how beautiful this woman is.
Yeah.
And when you get to really know her inside, it multiplies because she's so sweet. She has such a good heart. But you're right. Polish vodka, she can explode.
She does.
And you know, it's...
She was, that night, she was really on one because right from the get, we had Marisol come in wearing fur. And, Joanna had her deal with PETA. She was a PETA activist, and that triggered her where she could not stop spiraling, and it didn't matter what you said to her, she was going to be pissed from that moment on.
Oh, absolutely.
But that's real. That is who she is.
Yeah. That was not acting, and that's what I love when she believes about something, or if she stands for something or someone, she'll defend it, and that's admirable, and if she explodes, she explodes. She's not pretending to be somebody she's not.
Karent, how did you feel when, after season 3, you found out that the show was not going to be picked up again?
You know what? There was really no feelings behind it. I didn't think, I don't think it represented Miami in the light that it could have been represented. I think Miami's such an amazing city. You have this hodgepodge of all these different cultures: Polish, Cuban, Venezuelan, Colombian, Mexican, every single country, you name it. We meet in this place. It's like the mecca of all these other countries. So the way it was being represented, I just didn't think it did it justice, honestly.
It still doesn't.
It still doesn't. And it's a shame because you can be showing off such beautiful areas of Miami, having fun, you can have some great parties, great events, and really show off the city for what it is. And it just doesn't do it.
Have you had a chance to see this season?
Of course. now it's my guilty pleasure.
And what are your general observations?
You know what? It's just... What can I say? I almost feel that there's so many crocodile tears coming from Alexia. I don't know, she just wants so much attention, and every single, I think it was the last episode, she started crying on every single friend. I'm like, okay, control yourself. Okay, it's just, and then she starts dating the guy again. I mean, what face do you, not to criticize, because we've all fallen, short of acting the correct way with different men in our relationships, and I see it in hindsight is 2020. But one thing is being real, and another thing is, just trying to be this drama queen this whole entire time, but then you don't have respect for your own children, because if a man's allowed to treat your own sons that way and you don't stand up from the very beginning, love can be blind. And I don't have children of my own except for these little furry ones. But your children have to come first. Yeah. You have to defend them above all else. You have to be that mother cub. And that no matter come hell or high water, I don't care who you are, the love of your life, if he gets you off and every single night, 4 times a night, like she used to say, I don't care. These are your children. They have to stand for more than what a man can represent in your life. And that
I have a theory about why the sex is so incredible. She had the experience of being with Herman, who, Karent, did she always know Herman was gay?
Of course she did.
She always knew. There is nobody that didn't know Herman was gay.
And she always knew that her first husband was a drug dealer.
Of course. And my understanding is that, allegedly, total hearsay, they had an interesting sex life involving other people. And, she probably gave him exactly what he wanted. And, we like butt stuff here. And I think that Todd likes butt stuff. Well, it doesn't mean he's gay, but I think it's like new to him, and it's just like crazy. He thinks that's like wow, you know. I'm telling you, that's what's happening. He keeps coming back for the prostate massage.
Oh, you think that she's putting something on?
100%. No, I don't think she's. Well, maybe. I don't think that she's strapping one on.
Okay,
but I
but
think
she's
like
got something in her hand.
Or butt plug, something. There's something going on there.
Okay. Wow.
So, Karen, let me ask you, because you were legit a telenovela star. How does Alexia rate as a telenovela star?
How does she rate as any star? She doesn't rate.
What do you mean she's a star? She's a star, and we're all jealous of her.
Yeah. Oh, yes, we're so jealous of her. She doesn't rate as a telenovela star. I did a soap opera in Telemundo years back, Marilena. And I'm not nowhere. I don't rate either. But if I don't rate, she seriously doesn't rate. The crocodile tears just aren't there. They're not believable.
Karent, how are you feeling about this season, all the relationships going on, and most specifically, I want to know how you feel about Gertie?
You know what?
Just put a big smile on, because I know what you're thinking. It's what we all think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a lot. She's a lot. I definitely feel for her for what, she's going through. Gosh, I don't wish that upon my worst enemy, that's health, and I don't wish that upon her, but she's a lot. She's, I don't know if she's bringing it on for the show. And I think that's the problem. And I've narrowed it down, and I've thought about this with other people. You start watching these reality shows, and I remember, because I lived it, I felt that I had to bring it up 3 inches. Of course.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, people see that for what it is. It's not real. It's not natural. And there was a scene I'll never forget that I was with Rodolfo at a party, and we started kissing, and I'm like, I wouldn't normally kiss my boyfriend in front of a bunch of people. Like, I saved that for my private. So, and I remember, like, I felt like, oh, God, I need to make this interesting, and I need to make this fun. And no, you don't.
This was the party at Shangri-La where Leah said the thing about the green card. Remember?
I think so.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, I remember.
Yes, that's exactly it. Yeah. That's exactly it.
Yeah,
so
you guys were sucking face. Seriously.
Yeah, we were. And I normally wouldn't do that.
No, you
wouldn't.
That's
not me. So the fact that I was doing that, but I felt like I had to, like, step it up and act like a reality
I
TV
didn't,
star.
and
And
which
you
is
don't.
why I was so boring.
if it doesn't come naturally, the audience is gonna see it. It really, they're not stupid. They see the fake, the crocodile tears. They see the overacting, and it doesn't come off as real.
I do have to ask you, Karent, because there is one person on Miami who I would lay my life down for, and it's not Anna Quincoces. It is one Miss Kiki Barth. This woman has me by my nuts. I love her so much, and I don't know why she's not a full-time housewife, and I hope that you feel the same way about her.
I agree. Coincidentally, it's funny because last year I met her at a New Age event, New Age Beauty, and I got to meet her, and it was interesting because she was like, "Oh my gosh, Karen, I love you. I have met you while you're on The Housewife." And I go, of course, you meet so many people. I don't remember meeting her at that time, years back. But we had such a fun day that day. I was with Rick, my manager, and we were with her manager, and we were at this event all day together. We took pictures, and remember, we posted it on social media. I absolutely loved her. I thought she was rocking it. She's fierce. She's fun. And the fact that she's not a real housewife, I don't get it. I completely agree with you. I thought she was amazing. We had such a nice time that event, and we just laughed. We were reminiscing. We were thinking about things in the episodes of the shows when I was on, when she was on, and I don't know why. And I think she's a woman that could represent Miami well. She's this top model. She's gorgeous. She
Yes.
calls it out because she has no problem
She's funny.
expressing her mind.
She's really
She's funny. She's beautiful. I don't get it. I don't know what they're thinking, and I think that's a loss for the show.
Big time. Karent, who are you still friends with from your season?
You see her right there on the screen.
Same
And
people as
Leah,
me.
exactly. And Leah and Joanna. You know, it's
Same.
interesting because I was friends with Lisa. I never had a problem with Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
But she kind of forced my hand to choose between my friendship with Joanna or my friendship with her. And you don't do that. You know, no one's done anything to me. I have no problem. I've run into her at an event and she was, cordial. But I care for her. I really do. I have no problem with her. But she chose to say, okay, you're friends with Joanna. Not, I'm no longer friends.
Right.
So that's her choice. And I'm okay with that.
Karent, we have missed you on our TV screens, but
Oh,
we can
thank you.
always find you putting a finger in our mouth.
That's right. Open wide.
Karent, number one, you're the hottest dentist we've ever seen in our entire lives.
Thank
So
you.
thank you for
Thanks.
that. If I want to come to Miami and get my teeth cleaned specifically and have them an exam by you, and I'm just talking like a full body exam, how does
you know
one
what?
do
We'll
that?
we actually give you even a hand job, believe it or not.
Yes.
With
Sign
paraffin
me
wax.
up.
With
By the
paraffin
way,
wax.
the happy ending, Karent, it'll take less than 30 seconds.
Oh, yeah,
boy.
like
Oh no,
I'm
he's
great
a
for insurance because it's
Yeah.
like it took very little time. I got the insurance payment. It's great. I think that's a good
Whenever you
idea.
want. Well, we do. And what I meant by the hand job is that we have paraffin wax. We built a whole dental spa because nobody likes going to the dentist. So if you can make it more soothing, we have Bose noise reduction headphones. We have Netflix. We have the paraffin wax with aromatherapy. So that's where your hand job will come in. The happy ending, that's up to you.
Okay, so you're fine if after all of this treatment, I just go to the bathroom real quick and just take care of things.
Honey, we'll show you the door.
Thank you. Thank you. Karent, thank you so much for joining us at Reality Court.
my
I know that you're a
pleasure.
very busy woman who's got a lot
Yes,
of
I have
shit
patients
going on.
waiting
and
for me actually right now.
I hope
Thank
that
you
they
for
have
doing this, my
hand
friend.
jobs
Of
coming their
course.
way.
Of course, you guys are always welcome to come visit me here.
Thank you, Karent. Have a good
Absolutely.
one.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Love you guys.
Anna, I have to say, we are really stepping up our game here because we're getting dentists on the show, like people who are educated.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
Don't say this is some shitty pop culture. All we do is talk shit. This is a highbrow podcast.
Absolutely. And we do a lot. We really, without forcing it, get a lot of breaking news here.
Oh, yes,
People,
we do.
The one thing that I read over and over again is that we make people like people that they hated before.
Yeah.
Because
and
I think we show a human side to them that's not subject to weird editing. So I think that's nice. You know what I mean? That's a testament to what a great podcast this is.
Oh, it is. I'm waiting for our awards to start just rolling in,
They will.
And I think, especially when they see something like this interview with Karent, it's like we are talking to someone who's highly educated, who's very successful, and then you're still managing to talk about butt stuff. And I think that's beautiful.
Right,
It's dynamic. It's dynamic.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Now, it was really fun having her on, and I think our listeners will like hearing from her because,
I think
we
so.
haven't seen her for a long time.
Now, Anna, before we move on from Karent to other things happening in the world, I do need to come at you for a moment because I have a problem.
Okay.
I was, in preparation for this, I decided to go watch some of season 2 of Real Housewives of Miami again. And I was watching for the lingerie fight. And your ass walks into the lingerie party wearing a fucking jumper. And you're like,
Yeah.
It's a onesie. Come on. Why didn't you put on
Okay.
something sexy and shove a panty up your ass crack?
That's such a wonderful question.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you for asking. No
Yes.
one's ever asked me that before. So, do you know the Susan Komen Foundation? You've heard about it?
Yes.
It's for women with breast cancer.
Yes.
This was a party that supported and to raise funds for the Susan Komen Foundation. There is nothing that women with recent double mastectomies want to see more than women in lingerie. I thought it was
did think that
absolutely
was
disrespectful, and I wasn't going to do it.
I thought it was a little bit tone deaf when I saw that, but it was Lisa, so it's kind of like, do you expect her to
I know,
ever,
but I wasn't going to do it. I wasn't going to do it.
I appreciate that. Now, I think that you would have looked banging in some lingerie out there, but it's okay.
Leah didn't wear lingerie either. She wore a boa.
She did.
Well, some version.
She had like a bustier. I was
she
actually
did.
in shock seeing her tits. I was like, oh God, I didn't realize like she got some good titties on her.
She has natural boobs.
Wow.
One of the few.
They looked great. Yeah. So, but anyways, I appreciate that you had some respect for people, but that's not what Housewives is about. It's about making an ass of yourself.
Clearly. This is not, listen, I'm good at a lot of things. I really am. Being a housewife is not one of them. Talking about it is.
That's okay.
I'd love to produce a housewife show, but I don't want to be in front of the camera. I like to excel at the things that I do, and I recognize I don't excel at that. But that being said, the fact that some people think that I shouldn't talk about it at all, to me, that's ridiculous. If you know about something and you've experienced something firsthand, like, like the people that report on, since you watch a lot of sports, that give the play-by-plays, on the NFL and whatever, former players, Martina will go and give, talk about whatever, tennis at different places. And yes, I am calling myself the Martina Navratilova of Real
Miami.
Housewives, but the point is that whatever, it's become so old hat and so low-hanging fruit. She's thirsty, she's whatever. No, dude, this is my job, and I enjoy it.
You know what? I will say this. It's whenever I see Tom Brady shoot a home run, I'm always just like, you know what? Wow. Go sports.
Yeah.
Go
those
sports.
rebounds
I love it.
Are amazing.
Oh, so many rebounds from Tom Brady over to Allen Iverson. I know.
Yeah. I know. It's great.
That sounds like a perfect segue, though, for our favorite game here at Reality Court, Cunty, not Cunty.
Cunty or not Cunty?
Oh, here we go, Anna. Who are we bringing to the stand today?
Me.
Oh, yeah.
And Tony Marinara, a.k.a. Todd.
Okay, so it's Quincoces v. Todd. Let's get into it. Where are the arguments?
Okay. So, Todd, look, he is a classic narcissist, okay? And I had to explain this to somebody the other day, what narcissism truly is. And if you look at their relationship, okay, he love bombs her. She gives in. Then he gaslights her and tells her all the things about her that are wrong. He starts feeling like, I don't like her that much anymore. Then he goes away, and then he love bombs her again, and it's a vicious circle. She's very in love with him. He thinks he's in love with her, because the one thing about narcissists is that they don't really know what love is. They just mimic what they believe love looks like.
Yeah.
Okay? He's only thinking about the way that he looks, the way that he appears to others, controlling the narrative, controlling everything. He's the worst kind of narcissist. He's a Scorpio narcissist. So
not a Scorpio.
Yeah, it's really bad. So I found it very funny that he decided to write a comment on the RHOM Bravo Instagram, where I guess the Nate, the guy that runs it, had put a scene and said, where she's saying, I would step down from the show, and he goes, don't you dare take the Cuban doll away from us, or whatever. And Todd responded, and we have the response, right? So
let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Let me look for it. So it might take me a minute.
You guys, I mean, this is what I'm dealing with here. She's got to get her glasses on. She's got to zoom in. Oh, she's just got to oh God. Oh, hang on. Where is it? It's past 8,000 screenshots she has of the same Instagram ad that came up.
Oh my God, how do you know this?
Because I know, Anna, and
This
she's
is
like, "Oh,
terrifying.
I'm gonna come back, and I'm gonna come back for this." Also,
Okay.
really quick, before we go, guys, before we get into this, I do want you to know that today, Thursday, when you're listening to this, one Miss Anna Quincoces
Today is Tuesday.
No, it's Thursday.
We're not on the Thursday. Oh yeah, are we on the Thursday episode?
Yeah, because we usually put the guest on Thursday.
Oh, okay, go.
Good God!
Cut that out. Mark
Again!
it.
Again!
Okay, sorry.
Anyways, go over to Jeff Lewis Live, because our very own Anna Quincoces is going to be on Jeff Lewis Live, and it's going to be a great fucking time. All right,
And
continue.
Ace is coming with me, and it'll be the first time we meet in person.
Oh,
So
I
stay
can't
tuned
wait.
for the slow motion embrace.
I can't wait. I'm going to wear something I'm going to wear lingerie to meet you.
Are you? And I'm going to wear sweet sequins.
Oh, perfect. Awesome. Okay, read us
Let's
this.
get back
She's got
to
her
Todd
glasses
Gate.
on. She's got her
I got
glasses
my
on. Let's do
glasses
it.
Okay, so after reading, I guess, the caption on the actual post, he says, "Truth is, she did say she'd walk away from it, and I know she meant it. And I told her not to. I love her too much to let her give up something that gave her so much pride." I don't know if pride should be the right word for that. I just couldn't live. I mean, right? I just couldn't live in that world and be happy anymore. So don't worry. Your Cuban doll isn't going anywhere till she decides. And that's how it should be. Prayer hands. By the way, she always speaks very highly of you, which is the reason I've responded. So I've never seen him comment on stuff like this. The last thing we heard on Watch What Happens Live was that they were no longer together. They had just been together. And I know exactly what happened. During the episode, she said, rented car, rented this, everything's fake. And he couldn't handle that. So then they broke up again. And then there was a little incident with John Mayer that appeared that there was a little bit of flirtation. I'm not 100% sure the flirtation was towards Alexia or towards Marisol. I know we tend to think it's Alexia because she's
I
the more
honestly think
attractive one.
the flirting was really towards Andy, as it always is.
All the flirting is with Andy.
That's
and
who I
definitely
want to
that's it.
still see end up together. John Mayer
Yes,
and
me too,
Andy
me too.
raising their children together.
But let's say that he saw some of that. Now the competition kicks in, right?
Right.
This is all narcissism, and then he wants to go back. And so I'm sure after the show, they got back together until he sees something in the show he doesn't like. So now he's trying to control the narrative, and he's heard what people said. So some woman commented, did you think about that when you moved out in front of Frankie? To which he said, that's a valid point, but, moving out was just 3 suitcases and it all happened very fast, but valid point, I don't know. Then I wrote something, I don't remember what it was, and then other people wrote things that I don't remember what it was. Right, well, whatever, I could tell you more or less what it was, but they were all, kind of word assassin type stuff that I do.
Yes.
And when it got too, just a little bit too hot, he deleted the whole thing.
Yikes.
Right? But of course, again,
got
these
screenshots.
types of people, right, they're so predictable that I took a screenshot, right? So then I posted, because I can't leave things alone. Ace, don't lose patience with me.
Well, here's my
So
thought.
then
I'm
I
wondering,
said-
of these screenshots, how many did you mean to take, and how many were accidental screenshots because you don't know how you're using your phone?
No, there's only one. I didn't take. I thought he would delete it, but then I didn't think that everything afterwards would be deleted. But it doesn't matter.
Okay.
So after he deleted it, and all of a sudden this whole, thread of comments is gone, I posted the disappearing comment trick straight out of the Narcissist starter pack. Say something inflammatory, wait for the reaction, then poof, delete and pretend it never happened. Gotta love the desperate need to control the narrative and the comment section. I do hope Alexia finally sends him his 3 suitcases and even the soap. Let's not forget the soap, right?
Right, yes.
That he took packing. I bet it was the good stuff, referring to the good stuff of the chocolate that he gave to.
The Godiva.
What's his name?
Who sends me
The
Godiva
Godiva.
chocolates? Who's sending me
The
Godiva
good
chocolates?
stuff. Also, all good podcasters, especially those with legal training, take screenshots. Maybe lose the Dale Carnegie, Tony Robbins self-development crap and find a 12-step program close to wherever it is you're renting these days. Big hat, no paddle.
Wow. Big hat, no paddle.
No cattle.
No cattle?
Yeah.
What the fuck does that mean? Why do I have a big hat and no cattle?
Because you show off a big place, a rented Ferrari, all this stuff.
Okay.
And Warren Buffett doesn't do that. He's just got cattle.
He's got lots of
it.
cattle, and he doesn't care about the size of his hat. Okay, really quickly, I want to get to our cunty, not cunty of it all.
Cunty or not cunty?
Do we find Miss Anna Quincoces, and sound off in the comments, guys, was this cunty or not cunty? I need to know how everyone's feeling. I'm going to give my verdict. I'm going to go with this was cunty. However, I'm going to go with an Erica Jane cunty where I liked it. I was here for this cunty. So,
yeah, I'm going to agree that it was a little bit cunty. There is a part of me, we all know that there's no love lost between me and Alexia, and I wish that she really would send him back packing. I don't know that she's going to do that, but I felt like it triggered me because I've been with a narcissist and I know the whole process and it's very painful.
yeah.
And so I felt I had to say something. It probably wasn't any of my business, so that part of it is cunty, but
Okay, nothing's our business, but we make it our business. That's what we do here.
That's
Who
my
cares?
point. That's my
Right.
point.
I appreciate
So
that.
it's
I'm going to say
cunty with a caveat.
it's cunty with a K. It's a
Right.
it's like a Kardashian cunty. We're here for it.
Yeah.
I think it was great. I think it was necessary. I think you're out there doing the Lord's work. And honestly, this is you being a gal's gal. And I'm here for that.
Right, which is weird considering who the gal is. But I really felt it. And so
She said, I don't care if I have issues with this person or not. I stand for women.
right.
So I think that's
Sometimes. Sometimes.
Oh my God. Hey, I have a question for you, and I'm hoping that you can help me understand this. When Alexia was talking about Todd and she was saying everything was, rented and fake or whatever, is she just meaning he doesn't actually own any of it and everything's like a lease and a rental? Or was she getting at the fact that it's so fake that we literally rented this just for the show and as soon as cameras are down, we go and return it back to the lot?
I don't know which of those she meant,
Okay.
but I believe that the latter is exactly the case.
Okay.
They rented the really expensive apartment, and then remember when in 15 days they had to move out and she had to find a place and all that
Yes.
stuff? So I do think that a lot of it was for show.
Okay.
And she doesn't like that. She has expectations of living this fabulous lifestyle, which she has. And she has sacrificed being with heterosexual men. He has sacrificed being with men who have no freedom because they're in jail. She does not make good choices,
Yes.
And I think that she's really in love with Todd. And I think that this is going to continue for a while, but ultimately I don't think they'll be together.
It's bad when Marisol comes out and is like, this is not, he's not good news. He has made her into a miserable bitch, and I hate being around her when she's with him. Marisol is not allowed to say anything bad about her, and yet here she is being like, it's not good.
She's totally ride or die, and it was really funny for whoever saw the episode they were on last week on Watch What Happens Live, when she then retracted everything she said. She said, we have no financial problems. We have no, I was just mad. I didn't mean it. If you see Marisol's face, I'm going to find that. to put aside to side because she just couldn't believe what she was hearing.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just sad, honestly, because whether or not he is nice to her depends on the last thing he heard on TV.
It's funny because I was watching all of that, and it's so funny how like the meanest thing that you can say to a housewife has to do with her finances, because even in the episode, Lisa is upset with Larsa because she's like, and then you come in and you say Jody's cheap? You say Jody's cheap? And it's like, oh, like I would have thought she said that Jody was a pedophile the way that she was reacting to it.
Yeah. And by the way,
yeah.
She doesn't forget an insult. Back in my season, she and I were having some silly argument, and every time I said a word, she would repeat the word in her sentence. You know, when somebody just uses your whatever, your lexicon, whatever you call it. And so I said to her, dude, come up with your own words. What are you, hooked on phonics? And so the day I saw her at that brunch, she goes, you said I was hooked on phonics. And I'm like, 10 years ago. And how is that the worst thing ever?
But that's what makes a good housewife, is someone who won't let it go. And that's what I love.
And she's childlike, you know? Lisa's not bad. Lisa's not. I've said it before. She's not a sneaky person.
No, I don't think that she's that far ahead of the game to be a sneaky person.
Right.
You know, what you see is what you get.
That is true.
How that goes. So listen, I think that you're the head of Cunty here. I'm so grateful that you are doing the work that needs to be done out there. And I know that you say you don't want to go back, but I always will hope that one day you'll make another cameo. And I hope that you bring your sassy little sidekick with you.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're never going to let me do that. But I will tell you that I was trying to smoke him out from his cave like Osama bin Laden, you know? And because he couldn't take it and he couldn't respond, he just deleted the whole thing. He didn't like where it was headed.
There's nothing worse than when you say something you think everyone's going to agree with you, and then it's like, oh, God.
It did not. It went over like a lead balloon. Seriously?
Yes.
No
Anna, I know that you just had your doctor on the show who did your face, and I need to tell you something. You need to get on your knees and give that man a fucking BJ, because you look 15 years younger than you did on the show 10 years ago.
Right? Yeah.
Like, you look so fucking good. And every time, like, when I post something, like, to the trash bags, or, like, my mother-in-law watches a show, everyone's always like, I did not realize how fucking gorgeous she is.
Aww,
they're like, she's really so sweet. Beautiful. So, and that's not a compliment towards you. That's compliments to the chef, your doctor. Just want to be clear.
Right. I agree. I will tell you that when I was on Housewives, I didn't get the memo about Botox, about lashes, about hair extensions. So I was very kind of, compared to everybody else, looked kind of plain.
You're still beautiful. It's just that, like, you look so much like when I turned it on and I was watching it back, I was like, damn, girl has had herself a glow up. And it's been, how long ago was that? How long ago was that?
2012.
And we're in what? That's like 13 years ago?
13 years, yeah.
And you literally look 15 years younger than you did 13 years ago. I can't do that math. What's 15 plus 13?
I'm 28 years younger.
Yeah, hell yeah, she is.
I don't know about that, but I do agree that you know, there is a difference. You know, I think I look good for my age, and because I think had a good doctor.
No, I don't even think you look good for your age. I think you look great, period. We don't need to add for your age. You look stunning. Okay. And I mean, and also your tits look great. You know, I'm looking at the cleavage right now.
Wait till we meet in person and you're going to go, oh.
I'm like, fuck, where's her ring light?
I'm going to walk around with it like this.
You're going to be like Larsa at the fashion show. Yeah. Oh, thank God. Yeah. Guys, thank
Yeah.
you so much for joining us this week at Reality Court. Don't forget, go listen to Anna Quincoces on Jeff Lewis Live. Go and leave us a 5-star review. Nothing less than, if you're on YouTube, only write nice things about us. For the people who say that we're too gross for you, we don't care. We're not looking to please you because you've never been pleased a day in your life because you've never had an orgasm and you have a stick up your ass. All right? So thank you guys. Court is officially
Thank you.
adjourned. Goodbye.
Goodbye.